Hello there and welcome to another showcase. Today is going to be the Across the Spider-Verse showcase. Hopefully this one doesn't take a million years to edit. Yeah, so let's get into it. Alright, so hopefully the footage doesn't look weird whatsoever, but this camera apparently, there are two cameras on the iPhone, and one of them apparently I don't know, you can get really up close shots, and so that kind of helps see the detail, so let's get into it. Here's Miles. This is the first version I did, actually. There's two versions. So this one's actually the inaccurate one, even though technically it has more accurately sized emblems. I just couldn't, you'll see in a minute what I mean. But this whole figure is pretty inaccurate because it was before, you actually get to see all the detail on Miles, which the second Miles figure is actually based off the SH Figuarts figure, so you'll see that in full detail when I actually put it on the stand. So, what's inaccurate about this figure? The pattern, the eyes, the red on the side actually does not go all the way down, and just there is no padding on the suit. I don't know what it's considered. Okay, it's just like padding or something like that. But yeah, I do still like this figure. I think it turned out pretty good. I think it was a good first attempt, with all that muscle detail and all that. But in terms of accuracy, it's not all that accurate. But hey, look, he does have the red hands on the inside, so that's accurate. Here's the actual Miles, the real one. As you can see, he has a far better texture kind of to him, a nice little pattern. His pattern looks like a tire track or something like that. But, that's just kind of how it looks. Okay, so as you can see, padding and all that. Try not to talk too long, but we'll see. He has a Nate's Minifix mask, which Nate's Minifix apparently goes by Input Brick, so yeah. I don't know, it's a whole thing. But his emblems are a tiny bit small, and I don't mind, but, I don't think no one has actually pointed it out. Is my camera tilted? No, it's not. Okay, cool. But yeah, he does have all that padding. The red is cut off on the sides, as you can see. I think he looks really nice, but he does have an alternate head. Ooh, what could it be? Ooh, I wonder. It's just a neutral Miles head, as you can see. Well, look at that. It looks cool. Thumbnail photo. Woo. But yeah, that's it for Miles. I haven't actually seen the movie yet, so please don't say any spoilers in the comments. That would be greatly appreciated. Anyone who does gets blocked. Anyways, so here's Gwen. As you can see, this is the second version. Well, the second in terms of the movie. So Across the Spider-Verse version. I did not make the Into the Spider-Verse version. So as you can see, I did use a hood piece from Benson Bone, and I think that turned out pretty nice. I think the pattern, the white pattern, could have been a tiny bit better, but I think it's fine. Yeah. She does have this pattern continuing on the head. Probably wasn't all that necessary, but still, I still decided to do it anyways. She does also have an alternate head. If I could just quickly grab that real quick. Boom. As you can see there, it's just unmasked. And I did sculpt that hairpiece along with paint the face. It's just a Hermione head as a base, just with the piercing and then the eyebrows we painted. But I like the way this figure turned out. The torso is just a resin casted Ariel-like curved torso. That's a mouthful, but yeah, I just did this just so I have multiples of these torsos, because they can be kind of expensive and they can take a little bit to actually get to you, so yeah. And I was doing this on a weekly basis on my Instagram. By the way, go follow me on Instagram if you really want to see all these figures early. Yeah. But I did this on a weekly basis, so I couldn't really waste a lot of time, So I'm kind of glad I resin casted this torso ahead of time. Moving on, we have Peter B. As you can see, he does have his kid Mayday, who I'll quickly get out the way. As you can see, she does have her little shirt and all that, little sock, and all that detail. I actually had to remake this figure because the original one looked like this, and that was actually based off the concept art. So yeah, you know how that is. But his head is just Poe Dameron's head, just repainted with some wrinkles and new eyebrows. He also does have a sculpted hairpiece, along with the pink robes and the baby holder thingy. I don't know what it's called. Who cares? Quickly show this off. He does have the spider torso, because he does kind of wear the suit below it, and he just kind of has these blue feet or blue legs with socks and sandals at the bottom. I decided to go back and I decided to make his Into the Spider-Verse version, which is basically just a basic Spider-Man suit, which looks like this. He uses another Input Brick head, just this time it's the engraved mask, which I actually had this mask laying around for a bit, so yeah. He does have I did sculpt extensions to his wrist, kind of go down all the way to the minifigure hand wrist. And that's just kind of to make the suit a little bit of a better transition. So yeah, I did this on like 2 other figures, but one of them's kind of like gauntlets, so you'll see that in a minute. I do like the way this suit turned out. I do kind of wish I fixed those boots though. They're kind of off, but it's fine. Oh, his mask fell off. Moving on, we have Miguel O'Hara, and as you can see, I still haven't seen the movie, so I guess he's kind of like a second main antagonist or something like that. I know it's Spot. It's like I know he plays a huge part, but you'll see. But as you can see, I kind of went with like the blue and tech detail rather than like the blue and black detail, because I kind of like the tech detail a little bit better. And plus, you see a lot of people making like Miguel O'Hara with the black detail anyway, so I thought it'd be unique and special. Yeah. He uses another input brick head. Just this time I actually sanded away the eyes and I actually just painted them on instead of sculpting them, because I thought it'd be better if I just painted them, especially for how thin they are. But yeah, there's not much to really say about like the detail besides just painted details and all that. I didn't actually bulk out his torso besides like the chest, and that's mainly because I didn't like extend the shoulders because it would look weird, and I didn't decide to like extend the arms and legs because that would also look weird, because he's not that tall. He's not that tall, be honest. He's probably like the same. He's like slightly taller than Miles. Let's be honest. I still haven't seen the movie, so I haven't really seen them standing next to each other. So yeah, but yeah, he does have like these little wrist thingies kind of shooting out from the side. I made that with just some cardstock, glued them on, all that. Pretty easy, pretty simple. So yeah, I like the way this figure turned out. He does actually have an alternate head as well. That being just an angry clone head that has been repainted. Boom! Look at that. And if I take the hairpiece off, boom, a little bit more detail. Kind of give him a little bit of eye shadowing because he's kind of old in the movie, kind of ish. But I thought I'd add like a little bit more detail. And also, his hairpiece is the Hanzo hairpiece, just with some modifications, like the cut off ponytail and then just like some sculpted detail on like the left side. But yeah, that's Miguel O'Hara. Moving on, we have Jessica Drew. She's a little bit fragile, but yeah. As you can see, a lot of detail. I actually had to repaint this jacket, believe it or not. I repaint one half because it looked like this side, but that's not accurate. So yeah, same previous except for the torso below it, which below it is just like a belly, as you can see, just belly. That's it, because she is pregnant in the movie. Yeah, I could show you what the back looks like, because the back of the torso originally looked like this, and that's only because I was looking at like the Funko Pop as reference, because there was like very inconsistent reference for her. Thankfully, there was more consistent reference for Spider-Punk, kinda. But yeah, I did use the Monica Rambeau head, or hair, and I just kind of modified it, you know, kind of like dremeling away some bits, and then just sculpting the earrings and the headband. I used this DC character's head. I don't know who it is. I think it's like Bumblebee or something like that. I don't know, but I just painted the little red thing in the middle of the goggles, and that was basically it, because I thought the head was perfect. I think the legs turned out pretty good. The only thing I actually had to change was just the jacket. But yeah, that's basically it. Here's Spider-Man India. He does use the Autumn hairpiece, just with some modifications. Like, of course, the ponytail at the back has been cut off, and he has like a little bit of swoop at the side. His face actually had to be repainted, because it looked like this originally. Because their poster I was looking at for reference kind of made it look like he had just had white eyes and not the colorful eyes that you see here. And I guess that's because of like the filter that they used for the character, or just like the poster as a whole. So yeah, I had to like go back and do that, which I did an update post on this. So yeah, thankfully I did that. I'm moving stuff out of the way, by the way. Anyway, so he does have some hand detail, as some of the other characters have, if you actually paid attention. And he does have the white emblem, which I think turned out pretty nice. And I think all this detail turned out pretty cool. He does actually have some more leg detail below this little skirt piece that I made. It's kind of similar to like a Kama from Star Wars. That's kind of like the base thing I always base it off of, or something like that. But yeah, I couldn't include the ankle gauntlet things that he has on his ankles, the little golden ones, because that's just too much detail for like this really small figure. Let's see, he had a lot of detail on him, or has a lot of detail. Moving on, I'm going to show off Spider-Punk, because he seems to be another character, Hobie Brown. I know that's his name. But yeah, he does have this little guitar, which doesn't have a lot of detail. That's mainly because I couldn't make this figure without giving him his guitar. He needs his guitar. So just quickly removing that. I'm not even going to disassemble him. Like, I'm not going to take off his jacket, because you're not missing a lot. Just it's painted torso. Like, this is basically what it looks like below. Looks like this, essentially. But yeah, turned out really clean too. So that's pretty cool. The mask is another input brick head. I'm just a mask. I don't know why I keep saying head, but I just kind of sculpted the spikes, which they aren't as long as they are in the movie. I know they're a lot longer, but I just couldn't make them that long because they would just snap off easily. Because believe it or not, Hellspawn's finger, one of his fingers actually snapped off. So yeah, that's kind of my point proven. And then resculpted. But yeah, he does have the fish netting on his arms, which I think I've seen him with black gloves. I'm not repainting this figure. I'm done with this project, man. I spent months on this project, just across the Spider-Verse project. I don't think you understand. But yeah, I do still like the way this figure turned out. He's apparently British. So that little pin right there is starting to make a little bit more sense. Damn. Imagine being British. Anyways, moving on, we have Ben Reilly, aka the Scarlet Spider. As you can see, I really do like the way this figure turned out. This is what I meant by the black shading thing, because he does have a lot of black shading on him. It does change in the movie from what it looks like from like promotional material. Like it does change from image to image. So I just kind of stuck with this one that was based off the Funko Pop. So yeah, he does have a little bit of like bright red highlighting on him, like kind of on it. Well, flag red, I think that's the actual name of the color, because bright red is the base. That's what I use for like all my Spideys because I really like this red color. But yeah, his hood piece is actually just, it's not even a piece. I just sculpted it on because I doubt he takes off the hoodie. But yeah, his spider emblem, painted on it right here, and then on the back. Didn't know if he actually had it on the back, but I still painted it anyways. Pretty sure he does. But yeah, I do like the way this figure turned out. He does actually have some black detail in between his legs, but I don't plan on showing that. So yeah, really cool figure. Yeah, moving on. Who should I show next? Now it's just kind of like pre-existing characters, kind of ish. So yeah, I'll just show off Spider-Ham. I doubt he's in the movie. Don't tell me if he is or isn't. Don't tell me who's in the movie, who's not, okay? I want it to be a surprise. Still haven't seen it. But yeah, here's Spider-Ham. I made him because his headpiece is actually from Benson Bone, believe it or not, which he recently put up a website where you can actually buy all this stuff. So yeah. As you can see, he does have little magnetic arms. He does have magnetic arms because I used the baby piece for the base, which Benson Bone also put up that on his website, so hopefully I can start using that as well. But yeah, as you can see, he does have the little tiny spider emblem on him, right there. He does have just a lot of webbing on him. It was just really tiny detail, okay? It was really stressful, but I like the way it turned out. Try not to, like, break his arms off, because apparently that's a common thing with him. But yeah, as you can see here, we have Spider-Man Unlimited, so that's a pretty cool figure. His cape is actually just like a standard. I made it just similar to like an actual Lego cape, instead of just gluing it on. Okay, here he is without the cape, and as you can see, he does have back detail, which I actually had to use as like, I had to use a fan model as kind of like the reference for it, because I could not find official material. The only like full body image I could find of him was this one, like the basic one that you see everywhere. But yeah, he does have a lot of light blue highlighting, which I really like the way that turned out, and I just really love the way this whole figure turned out. I think I used like a little bit of a tan for the eyes, along with the cape instead of like a white. That's mainly because the stuff is kind of like an off-white kind of look to it. So yeah. Moving on, I'm going to show off Japanese Spider. Sorry about that. My brother was in the shower, and you could hear it in the background. I didn't want you to hear that. So, as you can see, oh, I think my camera's tilted. No, maybe not. I can't tell. If it is, then sucks to be you guys. But yeah, as you can see, Japanese Spider-Man. Woo, crazy. He does have a lot of webbing, and he does have a mask from Input Brick that has actually been sitting in a bag for quite a long time. So when this project finally came around, I was like, ooh, I can make him. Ooh. But yeah, he does have the lips, as you can see, which I based those off of Jin's design. He's like a custom minifig manufacturer guy from Instagram. But yeah, I based the suit primarily off of, I think, the Marvel Legends figure, along with like actual reference, like what he actually looked like in the show. But the back was primarily based off the Marvel Legends figure because there was no back reference. And the blue, there's definitely a lot of blue in here, and that's only because like the emblem had like a lot of blue around it, on the Marvel Legends figure, so I had to go with this. Okay. I actually I think I painted up this whole arm, and then realized I had to sculpt the gauntlet, or that I forgot to, so I was like, shit. So I just quickly sculpted the gauntlet that he has in the show. So yeah. Which apparently it's thinking like some of the mech or something like that. Some Power Ranger stuff. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but it's kind of a cool kind of weird. Anyways, here's Spectacular Spider-Man. I know everybody's been wanting him. I know, it's so crazy. But yeah. He's actually one like the more simple Spider-Man to make because he had minimum webbing. Like he does not have a lot of webbing. Not even like crossing over on here, which I like that. I'm okay with that. But I did use an input mask, input brick mask. Is it input brick or is it input fig? I don't know. I'll just show it up on screen when I first mention him. So yeah, you can all laugh at me when I'm constantly saying his name wrong if I actually do have it wrong. Who knows? But yeah, he does have a very simple emblem, and his webbing is very spaced out and very just, spaced out. I did use the mask as a base, but I did have to sculpt the eyes. And I did actually resin cast this mask, believe it or not, so boom. I can make as many as I want. It's crazy, dude. But yeah. Moving on, we have just a comic book Spider-Man that I made. I based this one primarily off of the PlayStation design, with like the shaping of the blue, the emblem, and just kind of like overall the shape, I guess, of like the red, the blue, and all that. But more inspiration also came from Anon, I don't know how to say his name, Anon. Sorry, man, if you're actually seeing this video. But yeah, I took inspiration for like the eyes, like kind of the gray in the eyes, because I really do like the way that shading kind of looks, along with some of the leg detail and just some of the highlights, because I thought that was a really nice look. I did sculpt onto the wrist, just like how I did with Peter B. And I guess technically, what's his name, Scarlet Spider, and a figure you'll see in just a second. But then again, I'm talking about like the jumpsuit, like kind of like the stretchy, suit that he actually has, and not the armor or the gauntlets, nothing like that. But yeah, I actually kind of made this figure to where you can actually, if I can find the piece, you can actually put something on his head. So, for example, kind of like an Amazing Spider-Man reference, you can put a firefighter hat on him. Look at that. Because I purposely left that stud exposed, and oh god, his head's getting stuck. But boom, I left that stud exposed just so I could start putting stuff on his head. It's like, for example, he has a little cap. But yeah, spider cap. I don't know. I thought it'd be funny. But yeah, moving on, we have Mark 1 Spider-Man, who I only made because I had a chrome pen that I got for Christmas. Yeah, that's how long this project has been in development for, I guess. I finished this stuff like back in May. Maybe. Like at the end of May, I think. This has been building up for months, okay? And I did this on a weekly basis, keep that in mind. But yeah, I made this figure because I thought it looked really nice. And I actually have the Marvel Legends figure of him. I really like the head shape of it, I don't know why. But yeah, I like this figure. I like the way this figure turned out. I like the emblem and all that. It's actually sculpted, believe it or not. But yeah, it was a pain in my ass to sculpt. But yeah. I say but yeah a lot. I don't get it. I was about to say there. Anyways, let's move on before I continue saying the same word over and over again. He's a werewolf Spider-Man. Probably one of the more interesting ones out of this showcase. I did kind of want to make Spider Monkey or Spider Cat, but I was like, no, I can't keep doing this. So I just stopped and I just made because they recently got shown in like more trailers and all that, except for like Spider Monkey. He was just kind of in the background, but I thought about making him for a minute, but I didn't. So yeah, as you can see, I did just kind of use a basic Spider-Man torso as a base, and then I just kind of painted onto it, along with a werewolf head that I actually just painted the Spider-Man mask on, along with the eyes, and just kind of repainted it as a whole. This is actually supposed to be like a werewolf Captain America at some point. I guess I just kind of lost interest. But yeah, I used the fawn legs, and I just used some Wolverine claws, and I actually did sculpt the fur on his shoulders. So that's cool. Werewolf Spider-Man was actually a dual post, because he actually also had Spider-Cop in it. I made Spider-Cop because it was like, it was a whole meme, kind of like in the PlayStation game, like always calling himself Spider-Cop and all that. So when I finally saw him, I was like, ooh, I can make a figure of him. Just a very simple one. I just saw a funny message. It's kind of funny, anyways. He does have the white belt. I don't know what the point of that belt is, but okay. I actually gave him a cap, like a little what do you call it? Police hat, because he did not actually have one in the trailer. So I thought, hey, why don't I just give him one? Kind of make it really seem like he's actually a cop. I don't know. I just had it lying around. I used the basic Spider-Man head because this whole figure is pretty basic. Painted the sleeves, like the blue sleeves. I just painted the detail onto like a plain blue torso. I wanted to see if you can actually you can kind of see the print. It was Icarus from Eternals. That shit movie. I still don't like that movie. It's just not good. Moving on, we have an April Fool's Day joke that I did. Splot Man. I don't know. I made him as a joke, so I'm just going to quickly show him. That's basically it for him. I'm showing off all the basic figures before I get to the big one. Here's the one that broke my Instagram account, Spooderman, or Spoderman, however you say his name. It's spelled with one O, but I just kind of call him Spooderman because it sounds a lot more goofy. It's a little bit more fitting. Boom, look at that meme moment. Anyways, but yeah, I like the way this figure looks. This thing has like 600,000 likes on Instagram. It's stupid. Because like that's like the most liked Lego figure on Instagram. Most people's get like 5,000 minimum, at least. 5,000, maybe even max. Like 5,000 max. That's how many people get. That's how many likes people get. This thing got 600,000. I don't know how, and I kind of hate it. But it's I do appreciate it though. I just find it funny. But yeah, he's pretty goofy. I sculpted the head and I actually did resin cast the head. I don't know why. I was just resin casting a whole bunch of stuff at the time. But yeah. He had something on his foot. I used mid legs because I did not want to give this dude normal size legs. He would just look really weird. But I could have made him like really short by using like the gnome torso that I used for Chuck in the last video. But yeah, I like the way, I keep saying but yeah. I do like the way he looks either way, so yeah. Now I'm saying so yeah. Someone else on Instagram actually did make a Spooderman at some point. Just he's got like 700 likes, which I kind of feel bad. It's kind of sad. But here's the Spot. I'm pretty sure the Spot is like the main antagonist of the movie, because I keep seeing him in so many trailers. I know there's like a black version of him, so I still haven't seen the movie, so don't spoil anything. Okay, keep it spoiler free. But yeah. I made him like off a whim, just kind of for fun, because I had a pure monochrome white figure just kind of lying around, and I did this on my live stream on Instagram. So, you know, if you really want to go see some lives over there, if I do anytime soon, then go follow me on Instagram if you haven't. He does have a lot of spots on him, and I kind of based this off the concept art where he has that Giga Chad chin line, or, you know, cheekbones. He really does have some cheekbones, huh? But yeah, that's basically it for this dude. Pretty simple. Now for the big figure. This one was a pain in my ass to make, and it's Cyborg Spider-Woman. I have to hold this figure, because like they don't even fit on the stand because they don't have holes for it. This is actually a base flashlight figure that I just sculpted like extensions to the arms to kind of beef them up a little bit, beef her up. Apparently it's a woman. I don't know. But yeah, a lot of detail on this figure, a lot of toothpicks, a lot of fake chain like on here, spider emblem. It's pretty cool. As you can see, there's some little bolts on there, you can barely tell, but I like the way this figure turned out. The reason why I was a pain in my ass is because the torso would just not work because I resin casted it, and it just would not work whatsoever. The arm is just the basic gun arm. That was kind of painful to make too. But yeah, this is the last figure I made, like the actual full figure I made for the showcase, like the project. So yeah, thought it'd be fitting if I closed out with Cyborg Spider-Woman. Sorry if this video is a tiny bit long. It's just I had a lot to say about these figures, and most, if not all of them, were just basically full painted figures. Unlike the last showcase with like the group was the full painted figures, and then, you know, everybody else is kind of like purist, semi-purist, and with some fulls here and there. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video either way. I really had fun making these figures. I don't plan on doing Spider-Man stuff soon-ish, but I do plan on doing Mandalorian stuff. Yeah, I know how you guys feel about Mandalorian stuff on my channel, so I'm doing it again either way. So yeah, I have planned like Paz Vizsla and Moff Gideon, like primarily those two for the figures. So yeah, hopefully I can keep uploading sooner. It's kind of been difficult, but yeah, if you really just want to go see these figures early, go to Instagram, Potato Bean Customs, go follow that. Anyways, that's it. Goodbye.